Hello, welcome to another Unwrapping. This time, Doctor Who, The Collection, Season 8, Jon Pertwee. And this is really my first memories of Doctor Who, is this season. I mean, I was propped in front of the telly before that, but I was quite young. And interestingly, I'm just looking on this, it's got a 12 on here. Well, I think when I first started watching Doctor Who, I mean, what did he appear, 1970? So I was 4 years old. So I wasn't 12, I was 4 when I was popped in front of these monsters and things. And I've got to say, the Autons terrified me. And the Daemons. There weren't that many. I mean, I was never afraid of the Daleks or anything like that. But some of these in this season really spooked me. So we're going to have a good look at this. Look at the artwork and the booklet and everything. We're going to look at the DVDs it replaces. And I've also got a statue of the Master with an Auton, which is very nice. So I'll bring that in. We'll have a look at that as well. So let's go on with the unwrapping to start with. So this has come out today. And for once I've got my act together. I'm filming it today and releasing it today. In the hope of maybe getting a few more views. You never know. But, you know. You might not like my style of doing things. I don't always go in depth talking about stuff, but I might be able to talk a little bit more about this one so I can remember all these episodes, alright, my goodness. So let's see. We get the usual, as we have done with all of the seasons, cardboard rest for the main pack. Let's have a quick look at the back of that. I'm noticing already that there's some really nice stuff on here. We've got surround sound for the Daemons and an omnibus version as well. And Terror of the Autons gets 5.1 as well. So that's good. It's all DTS. Dolby Digital. Excellent. Doesn't seem to be any restrictions on zoning on this. Doesn't seem to be. Hopefully it's a universal disc. You never know. Anyway, it certainly plays in Blu-ray discs are copy protected. We'll have a good look at that then. On the disc, see if there's any markings. Now that really does look like him, doesn't it? And my goodness, doesn't his son look like him as well now? Have you seen the Gotham series with Jon Pertwee in? That's pretty good. Although it did go not so good towards the end. I don't think I watched the whole last season. It just, I'm shooting you, you're shooting me. Anyway, I'll not digress about that. And we got some of the monsters in here. Terrifying masters of plastic, the Autons. It can make plastic live. That really creeped me out, that whole idea of that. And I've got a feeling, isn't that the bit that stopped him leaving Earth? I remember him swapping it with the Masters one at one stage. I can't think what it's called now. It must be in this series. And let's hope that I've actually got Terror of the Autons. I have actually got the right disc picture on the front this time. Because my last one, when I opened it up, although the discs were correct, it had the wrong pictures. And I never did get that sorted out, so I've got one set with the wrong covers on here. And these are really nice. These are actual pictures this time, not illustrations. So they look really nice, don't they? That's lovely, that. Now, is it Terror? No, it's the other one. Spearhead from Space is the one which is actually available on Blu-ray because it was mainly filmed. I think it was during a strike and they used a 16mm of film, so it's one of the only ones that's filmed completely on 16mm, so they could transfer it, and the Blu-ray is stunning of that. Mind of Evil. Loved these monsters, the makeup on there. They were brilliant, they were. Some people said it looked like a load of spaghetti or something. I thought they were really convincing. And to be on a film round, I think it was power stations or something like that. I mean, you probably would never be allowed these days to use all the real scenery that they could back then. Quite often the armed forces would join in, wouldn't they? Like with the Sea Devils, they actually had the real Navy join in on that. Fantastic. Colony in Space. That thing freaked me out as well when I was a kid. I had dreams about that thing. And when I got these discs again, and there'd been a gap since I'd seen them as a kid, it was like, oh, I thought that was something I dreamt up. I didn't realise it actually existed. It still freaks me out a bit, that. Oh, there's Bok. I have actually seen a gargoyle. It looks exactly the same as that, so they must have taken this design off a real gargoyle. Demons or Daemons. Oh, one's escaped. Let's hope it's all right. Oh, nice. Of course, it's weird seeing it, like, because I saw all this in black and white. We didn't have a colour telly when I was a kid. I had no idea. Like the beginning of Bagpuss, for example, when it changed from black and white to colour, I had no idea about any of that. So I had watched all this on the black and white telly. Bonus disc. Right, that's really nice. I love the artwork on this. It's probably one of my favourites, I think, so far. They're really nice. Because we've had a gap of a year, haven't we, where we haven't had any of these out during the COVID last year. We haven't had... no, there wasn't any releases last year. So we've got a Sylvester McCoy one coming up. Yeah. The one I would like now is the Key to Time, I think. I'd like the Key to Time. And I'd like them to go back and do some earlier ones as well, before Jon Pertwee start going for Troutons and Hartnells, doing a season of that. Mind you, they're pretty big seasons, some of them, aren't they? And, I mean, like War Games, what was that? 10 episodes? 12? I don't know. Maybe that's why they kept away from them. Anyway, so let's see what we've got here. And again, it's a picture this time and not an illustration, although I think it's... Oh, is it? I tell you, if that's an illustration, it's so good I can hardly tell the difference. It's very good, that. I think it is actually a drawing. My goodness, someone's very good artistically if that's a drawing. I mean, I know my eyesight's getting worse, but that looks pretty realistic. So we've got the standard Velcro attachment that we've had with them all. Nice picture of Joe, the Doctor, the Master in the background. More exciting products. That is not exciting. That's completely misleading. More exciting products from Doctor Who. No, not exciting. That's Dr. Woke, it's not Doctor Who. So, yes, get the console. Rather nice. Well, let's see what the exciting products are. Oh, there's something coming in London, isn't there, by the look of things? The Fracture. Let's also go and see. The Lonely Assassins, a Nintendo game. Worlds Apart. Just in case you do want to, are interested, we can all go out and do things again. Right then, let's see what we've got here. God, I gotta say, the artwork this time is up a notch from the others. Really nice the way they put this together. Aww. The figures just went up and we gained a whole new adult audience, Jon Pertwee. So you may wish to pause and read that. Actually, I'm just going to do it like that, I think, with his 4K. Rather than scan up and down everything. Of course, it's where we first meet the Master, isn't it? The Tower of the Autons. I can remember her cropping up in a few things in the 70s and then never seeing her again. Yeah, I love this. I thought that looked great. You got to remember, on a 20-inch black and white telly that you're trying to tune in, that isn't a great picture, you can't really see some of the, like, oh, that's just stuck on or whatever. It's actually a little bit harder to see than it is these days. Of course, now it'll be completely exposed in Blu-ray, and they've got the best transfers they can, because obviously this is all done on video, unfortunately, so it's not that sharp. But I think that these look absolutely brilliant. It's like a load of roots dug up. Yeah, some of these really freak me out. Yeah, that thing. Oh dear. It's just a mask, actually. And when Bok first came to life, that sent a real shudder down my spine. That did. I think his eyes lit up and his head moved, or just his head moved when they were in the cave once. And I was like, oh no, that gargoyle's alive, you know. Oh. And in the village where they filmed this, there's in the other disc I've already seen, it shows the kids arriving home from school. So it was like filmed in a little village, and they're all crowded around the doctor, and he's in the car, and he's taking them for rides, and they're having autographs. I mean, imagine that. I can't imagine, you know, it's like a 4 or 5 year old meeting the doctor, and well, I bet that must have been fantastic back then. Because we weren't so connected as we are now these days, you know. You just saw the episode on telly, and if you missed it, you missed it. You'd probably never be able to see it again. Well, I've got to say that. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Really, really, really nice artwork this time. I'm not going to keep that. Really nice artwork. And I've got the right discs. I'm looking forward to this already. I'm going to probably watch the first disc tonight. Try and space them out. I do like the behind the sofas. I think they're really good. Where you watch it with, hopefully, some of the cast. I mean, this was a long time ago now, so it probably might not be. I say Jo's still alive, isn't she? So perhaps she'll be there watching behind the sofa. Brilliant. Fantastic. Okay, well that's that. And now I'm going to go on to the DVDs it replaces. So I can sort of get rid of this one now because I've got the Spearhead from Space on Blu-ray. It's the first one. Is it the first one? I mean, that part in there when you know, you must have seen it. It's on YouTube. I mean, everyone shows it in all sorts of different programs where the showroom dummies come alive. I mean, you can see it's just people with not that well done up. But my goodness, at the time, that was so scary because it was reality. It was actually filmed in a real street, a real shop window, and then they were just breaking out the window and shooting people. As a 4 or 5 year old, I found it absolutely terrifying. And I'd just get plopped in front of the telly. My mum would visit her friends in Southampton, and I'd just be plopped in front of this little tiny black and white telly watching the football results, waiting for Doctor Who to come on. And then as it came on, being absolutely terrified watching these plastic men come to life. And this thing, oh, I mean, the daffodil, I mean, it's just horrible. At a certain time, it's programmed to spit out like a plastic sheet that covers your face and suffocates you. I mean, it's pretty nasty stuff. And just to know that there's a force out there that can control plastic. So anything plastic. I mean, there's one bit where a sofa eats a bloke. I think that's that one, Spear from Space, in the factory. But I mean, these plastic men were handing out these daffodils for free in the streets. And of course, what you don't realise is they're not actually men in suits. They're just living plastic. And if you really get your head around it, it's really quite terrifying. Yeah, so 1970. So yeah, I was 4 years old. So never mind your 12 certificate, BBC. I was 4. Perhaps that's why us older people sort of keep harking back to these days, because I wonder if there's, mind you, with the amount of things you can watch on telly now, I mean, there's some truly scary things you can find on the internet if you're not supervised, so maybe this will be quite tame compared to what you could see as a 4 or 5 year old now, but hopefully no one would get any more scared than seeing something like this. All the real horrors there are, aren't there? So I'll just do a quick scan of this, because I'm going to be appearing in the charity shop near you soon. Actually, I give these to my old mother, I think, because they hand them around in the home, and quite enjoy watching them. So it will do the rounds now, rather than being on my my display shelf. Yep, so that's the one it replaces. I will scan this one, because I'm going to get rid of this one as well. So we'll just have a quick look at that, even though it's not on this set. Oh, it's going to be a nice night tonight. 5.1 in the Daemons. Goodness me. I wonder if the people that worked on this are a bit like me and saw this particular series as the season, I mean, as children, and remember it, because it seems like a lot of love's gone into this one. I mean, it's a better picture than the last one of the Doctor. It looked like him, but it didn't really look like him. And they got him spot on, and the Master's spot on. All of them are spot on, exactly what they look like. So the artists, whoever did this box set, keep that artist. He or she or they, so it might be more than one, are brilliant. So there we are. So that's the Mannequin Mania set that came out, goodness knows how long. I expect you can probably still get it. Now, when the Autons came back, it was actually the first of the reboot, wasn't it? Christopher Eccleston was the very first episode they had Autons, but they just weren't. I mean, obviously, I'm a lot older watching it. I got to remember that. But they just weren't. I mean, they look perfect. There's no like, oh, that looks like a bloke in a costume. There are no seams, or you can see the neck of the real person underneath or anything like that. But they just didn't seem very scary, those ones, and they were sort of just in the background of the story, where there was so much going on because it's the first episode. Could have made more out of that, but you know, it was a reboot. Pull all the stops out. See what I mean? I mean, that looks, I don't know who that looks like. He looks really scared. I mean, one thing, the Doctor hardly ever looks scared, does he? So, yeah. So I mean, look at the difference in artwork there. Well, that's quite nice. That one. Not so good there. Looks like a bad waxwork model of him or something, or oh, I don't know what that looks like. So hopefully all of what's on these DVDs will be on the Blu-rays plus more. I know there's a few I must keep, because there's one I've got, it's not this, it's later on. There's a Jimmy Savile, Jim will fix it, it's in the TARDIS, and he appears going like, ah. So I have to remember that some of these I must keep, because they will never be on any new versions ever again. Claws of Axos. I'm going to say I absolutely loved the monsters here. They just look fantastic, I reckon. Sort of look like gods, don't they, or something? Or something from like ancient Greece, maybe, or, you know, something like that. Claws of Axos. Now and Then, they didn't do it on all of them. Now and Then was really good. I go back to the original locations and see how much it's changed. Did I do the back? Can't remember now. Now I remember a friend getting me this either for Christmas or birthday, and it was quite expensive when it came out, this. I say again, it was one that was just like a bit shuddery for me, this one. Just the idea, like with the Autons plastic coming alive, like with this, a stone figure coming alive. I guess it was a stone figure. Or it might have been something pretending to be stone. It's never fully answered. And is it black magic, or is it just our perception of what black magic is and we got it wrong? And in fact, it's just another force, alien force. Obviously, the way it gets bigger and bigger can look a bit silly these days. But if you just allow your mind to relax a bit and think, yeah, I know, it's just zoomed in, superimposed. But the size of him... using that effect, you've got to remember as a kid, like a 4-year-old kid watching it, you think, oh my goodness, like, you know, this bloke's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Of course, after this, he went on to be in Eurythmics, didn't he? Well, Tourists before that, wasn't it? So this is my sort of style for this sort of thing, sort of like a cataloguing, so you can, just in case you never ever get this, or you might just get the Blu-ray and there's some information it might be on here that's not on the others. I just thought it might be good just to archive them on video before I part with them. That's the sort of thinking behind this. Of course, if memory serves, I think the Master wasn't he in every single thing? Just turned up like each time, like, oh, it's the Master, da-da, and, you know. And then they wanted him as an occasional sort of subject. And I mean, you can't, as an actor, work like that. But I think this first series, and maybe the second, I think he was in every single adventure, wasn't he? There we are. So as usual, it's more of a look than a really in-depth talk about all this. Just can tell you that I've got very strong memories as a 4-year-old boy being petrified by this season. And I'm really, really glad to have it in one set now. I'm hoping they will get on, and I mean, I know there's another one coming out soon, and get these, so I can get rid of all of the DVDs and have them all in nice box sets. Let's hope they do go for the Triton and Hartnell years. I mean, they might not be able to do a season in one, but they'll certainly be able to, you know, you put more on one disc sort of thing, even if they can't change the resolution. You know, like my Bionic Woman one I've done recently, where it's on Blu-ray, but it's standard digital on Blu-ray. So rather than have 28 discs, you get 3 discs, or a season on each disc, which would be fantastic, wouldn't it? I mean, see, like something like War Games on one Blu-ray disc, rather than have all the discs. You know, that'd be quite good, wouldn't it? With all the extras and everything as well. Right, so that's that. So this is my Doctor Who area. As you can see, there's a space there for the new one. There it goes. So this is the earlier years at the top. And we do have a nice Cyberman. That's actually Trigger as a Cyberman there. And he's got a little player there which plays sounds through this little speaker. And they're all Doctor Who type sounds. Let's just turn the volume up a bit. And over here we have a Davros, sorry, not Davros. As he's going for the kill, Davros' ping control, the kill switch. That's really loud now. And here he is. So here's the Master with his tissue compression eliminator. And then on the floor there is a beautiful rendered Auton. Looks fantastic. They've kept it real, sort of looking like it is a person in there still. Even the stretch marks across the back look fantastic. And he's got his hand open with the gun showing. Just a quick hello to the Special Weapons Dalek. So a welcome addition to the Doctor Who collection. Gonna have fun tonight watching that, and probably for the next week I'd imagine or so. I'd recommend getting this one. It's a really, really good season. As long as you can make allowances. It was filmed in 1970, of course. But it's pretty creepy stuff. Thanks for watching. See you again next time.